Buenas tardes. Welcome to our virtual back to school night. We hope that this is the last time we have a virtual school. We have a lot of information for you tonight. Teachers want to talk to you about their programs. A couple of things that are happening on campus. We are continuing vaccine clinics. We're also continuing to do testing every Wednesday, for athletes every Monday. Also, please remember that for next school year, every student will have to be vaccinated against COVID. So take advantage of the free vaccine clinics. Additionally, we're getting ready for the next school year. We're already talking to the middle school and some of the K-8s that will be joining us next year. Also, we're preparing for senior events and graduation. The graduation will be at Richmond High School in June 11th. There's a lot of programs that want to speak to you. So thank you very much for being here. And we'll be around 7:30 to 8 to answer any questions. Back to you, Mr. Hillier.
All right, just so you see, this is kind of our format for tonight. So we're having our quick principals address, and we're going to move into presentations by science, math, our VAPA and electives, PE, our counselors. At 7 o'clock, we are going to open up health. We're going to open up separate rooms for the different academies. I know Health Academy is having their own Zoom link at 7 o'clock, and you'll get a chance to talk about integrated projects, upcoming events, English, history, and our career technical. And then if you want to return to the main room, admin will stick around to answer any questions that you might have. All right, and with that, we're going to jump over to science. So Mr. Keeley, if you're here, I will hand it over.
Thanks so much, Mr. Hillier, and welcome to all of our families. I have the pleasure of speaking to you about what your student is experiencing in science class. You're going to hear mostly about physics for 9th graders, biology for 10th, and chemistry for 11th and 12th graders. We'll also speak briefly to electives. Let's go. New slide, please. We wanted to start by sharing the science department's goal for you, or our vision. I'm not going to read every word on the slide. I don't think that would necessarily be great teaching, but we really try to focus on what students do in class and to make sure that they get a chance to do science, to not just read about it in a book or watch a video, but actually design and conduct an experiment to generate knowledge. And our goal for the next 10 minutes is to show you that that is happening in classes. We also want them to think critically, to be able to make their own decisions about the world based on evidence that they're presented. On the bottom of this slide, you see some examples of that, some labs that students do. We're going to show you more. Next slide, please. So before we go into the individual classes, we wanted to share some general thoughts that we have. We're frequently asked how parents can best help students. And one of the things we like to really encourage families to do is to check the Power School app often. So the way that we most often communicate with families is to update our gradebook. We update the gradebook, most of us, several times per week, certainly weekly. And speaking for my own class, I think you should expect your student to be earning A's and B's on just about everything. And if they're not, I would love for you to reach out to me. And I know our teachers feel the same way. Getting access to Power School can be a little bit tricky, but your student can always show it to you. They have it on their district Chromebook, and so you can watch it from them. We are also asking that you just check on your student and make sure that they are bringing every day a binder for science class. We've given them the binder, so they definitely should have it. Paper, pencil, and the district issued computer. And we really want to, oh, thank you for correcting that, Ms. Jen. The email address on the screen is wrong. The correct one is askrhs@wccusd.net. We'll change that on the slide when we can. And we really want to help, so we hope you'll reach out to us after tonight. For one thing, we have a lot of tutoring hours. Mr. Vaughn is going to drop some of them in the chat. We also offer tutoring with each teacher. If you want to hear more, reach out to us. Next slide, please. So we're going to now jump into each subject. We'll go through the subjects one at a time and you'll meet the teachers. I wonder if a science teacher could possibly drop this information in the chat, or you know what, I probably can. And while I'm doing that, Ms. Simpson, I believe your slide is next. Are you ready to speak to us about what students have been doing in your classes?
Sure. Yes. I just need my slide and we'll talk about that. I teach, I'm Miss Simpson, Catherine Simpson, and I teach both chemistry and AP environmental science. I also tutor after school for all subjects, so I can help your student with math or science or English or anything else. So this is a slide showing that some of our students have participated in the science fair. And that was what Mr. Keeley was talking about, actually doing science. They learn about the world in AP environmental science. And then they are getting better and better at explaining science to each other and learning how to communicate science. So this is just a little film of someone explaining how something melts. So all science is hands-on. All science is learning by doing science. So that's just a brief outline of some of our projects. Coming up is a contest that the kids are going to be doing where they'll be competing against other schools in scientific areas like climate change and learning how to code and debug. So those are just a few of the different ways that I'm helping the kids learn and do science. Thank you. I don't think we have time to really go into the
yeah, sorry about that.
Video. Yeah, I don't think.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Go for it.
No, you introduce yourself first.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Miss Riley Charles, and I'm one of the biology teachers.
I'm Mr. Moo. I'm the other bio teacher here. So in our class, we have been wrapping up our genetics unit. One of the final projects we both did in our class was making these superhero projects, or these superheroes. So students were choosing 2 different superhero parents, and then using Punnett squares and genetics to have these superhero children. So these are some of the good products that we got in our classes. And yeah, so we're wrapping that up and we're moving on to some other cool stuff after spring break. So we're going to do some cell culture where students are going to get the chance to grow up bacteria on agar plates. Hopefully also going to do frog dissection if we get those in. And then our classes sort of deviate a little bit. I'm going to have some people from UC Berkeley talking about leaf structures with the students. And then Riley is doing a field trip to the watershed, which he is going to need some help with. So.
Great. I think we can go to the next slide. Yeah, so I just wanted to do my little plug for the field trip here too. So I'm planning on taking my classes to Point Pinole Regional Shoreline. It's a program called the Watershed Project. It's integrating climate change in the classroom, and then they take the students to an actual watershed to like explore that and get to do like hands-on, meaningful, impactful science. So if you are free on May 24th, May 25th, or May 26th, I would love to have you as a volunteer for the field trip. So if you are interested at all, please reach out. I will be reaching out as well with more details, and I'll put my email in the chat once more. I think Mr. Vaughn already did that, but yeah, would love to have you.
Hey, I'm up. Hello, I'm Mr. Madden. I'm one of the physics teachers at Richmond High. And like our other science department members have said, we want students to have hands-on experiences and learn how to design experiments so that they can, control aspects of their world with knowledge of how things work. So if you can press play on these little videos, they're only 3 seconds each. We have been working with pressure differences on an object so that it flies in a curve motion like that. We are just starting our unit on light in physics and how light behaves, in both the visible light that we see with our eyes and all the other forms of light that we use in technology. And we also had a sound unit recently where we were analyzing sound and generating sounds with technologies. And my apologies to other teachers who have had sounds generated in their classes by those technologies. But we have a full physics curriculum that we are keeping kids learning every day. And we think those memorable experiences are the ones where they actually get to do it themselves. And next is Mr. Vaughn. He's going to tell you about one of those experiences.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mr. Vaughn. I'm also one of the physics teachers, one of the 3, in addition to Mr. Keeley and Mr. Madden at Richmond High. I also offer tutoring. I just wanted to plug this again. I had put it in the chat on Tuesdays and Thursdays after school from 3:30 until 4:30. So again, Tuesday and Thursday after school from 3:30 to 4:30, and that's in my portable 555. And so any student is welcome to come in for study hall, and I specifically am offering assistance primarily for students that are taking science classes. And then real quick to finish it up, this is one of the slides for a recent activity that students did. They designed, built, and tested coolers to show their knowledge of heat flow. So heat flow is one of the units that we have been working on and just finishing up. And these slides show students doing a hands-on activity in which they are testing coolers that they built in class. Thank you. I'm done.
All right, thank you, Science Department. We're going to transition over to hear a little bit about our math department. So whoever is going to go for that, Ms. Stone or Mr. Walters, if you want to take it away and let me know when you're ready for next slide. Once again, thank you, Science Department.
Hello, everybody. I'll go ahead. My name is Ms. Stone, and I'm in charge of the math department here at Richmond High. And we're going to tell you a little bit about ourselves and some of the things that we do and some of the things that could help us, if you guys could do at home, that would help us to make sure your students are doing well in their math classes. So we're ready. Next slide. Like I said, my name is Ms. Stone. I teach Algebra 2 and AP Statistics, and I'll throw it over to Rodriguez.
Hey everybody, so I am Mr. Rodriguez. I teach Algebra 1, I teach Pre-Calculus and AP Calculus. And I'll pass it on to Mr. Walters.
Hi, I'm Mr. Walters. I teach Geometry and Advanced Algebra with Financial Applications. Ms. Para?
Hi, I'm Ms. Para. I teach Algebra 1.
Ms. Calderon might be in the Internationals Academy, so she may not be here at this time.
What's up, everybody? I'm Mr. Lamacchia. I teach Geometry and Algebra 2.
Hi, everyone. I'm Miss Sasono. I teach Geometry and Algebra 1.
Hi, I'm Miss McMillan, and I teach Algebra 1.
All right, I think we're ready for the next slide. Let's pass this one to Mrs. Sano, I believe.
Yep. So our math norms include Math is about connections and communication. We believe questions are really important. We also believe depth is more important than speed. Math is about learning, not performing. Everyone can learn math at the highest level. Mistakes are super important, and that math is about creativity and sense making. Next slide, please.
So no matter which math class that you're in, whether you're a first-year math student in Algebra 1, or you're taking our advanced classes in AP Statistics and AP Calculus, all of those math norms come into play, and we try and reinforce them in every single class and in every lesson. We just wanted to give you a little overview of where math is going with your students so that you can see the journey that they're on and also understand how these things fit together. And we also really want to reiterate the importance of having students complete 3 years of math and working towards graduation. And as you understand that more, we can work together to help them achieve that objective. In Algebra 1, where most of our students start, it really is about solving for something unknown, and typically within what we would refer to as linear relationships, relationships that change at a constant rate. In geometry, we start moving into working more with shapes, and particularly working in space, three-dimensional space, two-dimensional space, and how those vary. And then finally, the last core class is Algebra 2, where the kids reconnect with some of those problem-solving skills that they did in Algebra 1. But now we start looking at more complex, what we call nonlinear relationships, things that have to do with exponential functions or things like that. Next slide, please. As they continue in their math career, and we'd like to think of it hopefully as a math career at Richmond High, they have options, and we're adding more and more options to the curriculum. Financial algebra is a class that we've been developing for a couple of years now. It really is looking at finance, complex financial systems and looking at the mathematics behind that. Everything from how mortgages work through the process of paying for loans and things like that, and the stock market. AP Statistics, we really do a deep dive there into understanding data and how data can be analyzed and making predictions going forward, learning how to project into the future. And then in calculus and and AP calculus, we're really looking at understanding really small changes in very large and very small systems. So calculus becomes a foundation for a lot of the sciences and a critical skill as our students go forward. So we offer a really wide range of classes, and we're continuing to evaluate new classes for your students every year. But please encourage them that they can do this. We need to get them through all 3 years as they go. Next slide.
Okay, so our grading practices and classroom practices are that all classes ask students to put their phone in a box on the table. So that's just so that we can minimize the distractions during class. All math classes rely on collaborative group work. So we encourage our students to participate in discussions. It really helps facilitate their learning. If you can explain something and you can talk about it with other people, then it really ensures that you know it. We weight our classes at 70 to 80% tests being their total grade. So tests are heavily important, meaning that we place an importance on the students' knowledge and proving that they know the material. And lastly, students missing class really hurts their overall performance. If a student must be away, please make sure they regularly check their Google Classroom for videos and lecture notes that the teacher may have posted. This is really important. We update things, like right now, my students are doing a project and I've, have some students out. So it's really important that they stay updated so that we all know what's going on and we can make sure the grades are looking like we would like them to be. Next slide, please. Okay, and how can you help? How can the parents help? check PowerSchool regularly and encourage students to get work turned in. So you can see the assignments where they're ungraded or maybe have zeros in. So perhaps those teachers will allow the work to still get turned in. So check those. So encourage your students to get those assignments turned in. Also, you can ask your students about what they learned in class and get them to show you how to do a problem they had to do. And it's important to emphasize how important tests are to their grade. Again, they're 70 to 80% of their grade. So tests are very important. So it's very important that students study for their tests and take notes and be prepared. And lastly, don't tell them if you think you are bad in math, let them know that it's their responsibility to learn it. And that, of course, we all believe that they're very capable. Yes, and we do offer tutoring. So have your students check in with their teachers. Also, if their teacher's not available on a particular day, many of us other teachers are all doing tutoring. So you can check in with the other teachers who are teaching their same class, who don't even teach their class. We are all very knowledgeable and can likely help your student. So.
I'm not sure who was going to teach this. Oh, okay. I'll just say really one of the things we're working on to finish up is really helping the students not only accomplish what they were working on this year, but to recover work that they've had in past years. And we've got our emails there, so please do reach out to us. And we'll pass it on to humanities, it looks like.
All right, folks. Thank you, math department. That was really great. We're going to move into our humanities teachers. So whoever wants to jump in and take on for this slide, go for it.
All right, I can go ahead and get it started. Good evening, everybody. My name is Luis Chacon. I'm one of the teachers in the humanities department. I teach Chicano studies and ethnic studies. For at least for my class, and I would say in the larger humanities department, I'll let folks introduce and speak to their classes in a second, but for Chicano studies and ethnic studies, what we've been focusing on really throughout the year is making sense of issues that are going on in our community, in our society, both historically and today. So in terms of topics, that's largely what we focus on. In terms of skills, we've been pushing hard our reading and writing skills. Second semester is a heavier focus on communication and speaking and listening skills. So one of the things that we're trying to do more with students is partner group conversations and larger class conversations. And I'll leave it at that. If you would like to contact me, I'll leave my email in the chat, and I'll pass it on to whoever would like to speak next. I know Ms. Goodbeer wanted to be here today, but she had a last minute family engagement. So if Mr. Noonan, Mr. Williams, or Mr. Wilson would like to go next, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chacon. Good evening, everybody. My name is Jamie Williams. I teach theater and leadership. To keep it really short, theater this year is different than your regular theater class because of the virus. So because of the virus, we're not trying to do any big shows or any big productions, but what we're focusing on is getting the students to try out different art forms. So throughout the year, students have been learning spoken word poetry. They are currently writing their own myth creations right now, like their own myth stories. They did an NPR style podcast audio project. Next quarter, we're going to be getting into more technical theater stuff, singing, songwriting, having the students look at William Shakespeare, study different theater movements throughout the world. And yeah, so that's basically theater throughout the school year. Kids get to try a little bit of each creative medium. Leadership, what we've been doing is trying to keep the school fun and engaged throughout the virus. We had one rally, but then we decided that we don't really want to do that because of the virus. So we've been doing a lot of lunchtime activities, doing a lot of spirit weeks and things of that nature, just to keep the school fun.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. It does seem like Mr. Noonan and Mr. Wilson might be in another meeting at this time. I do know that for all of our classes, I would say you can see Mr. Noonan's classroom, Google Classroom codes. Google Classroom for a lot of us is where most of the student work can be found, and similar to some of the other teachers, PowerSchool is a really strong resource to follow along with students' progress. And like we said, Google Classroom is also a good resource to look at where students are currently at. And Mr. Williams, Google Classroom codes are there for everyone, and we can probably forward along the slides there. If you still don't have your students' Google Classroom code, of course, you can ask your student. The school also has a list of our Google Classroom codes, which we'll be more than happy to provide you if you call or email the Ask RHS email that was shared earlier. And I think we are at a stopping point for humanities.
Thank you, Humanities. Mr. Wilson, I know you just joined. I'm not sure if you wanted to do a quick overview, if you would like. All right. Well, these slides are available. If you need to hit pause or anything, once this video is made available, you can go for it. Oh, hey, Mr. Wilson, if you want to go for it, if you're available.
I missed all of that because I was having Zoom issues. So
sorry about that. Well, I have your overview right here. So if you want to kind of talk a little bit about it, that'd be great.
Okay. So basically, the African American literature course is designed to focus on literature from the 18th to 20th century from a historical and literary perspective. And then students will explore text from a variety of perspectives, including literary, historical, race, and gender. Creative writing is to focus the development and activation of creativity through the writing process. So this would include short stories, scripts, poetry, lyrics, and songs. In addition, both of these classes, at least for this year, are also eligible to fulfill requirements for those that are short English credits or may have need to retake English class that may have happened in freshman, sophomore, or junior year.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I think that concludes our, we're going to go forward here. But these are the contacts for any of our all right. So if you need any emails, they can be found there. I know that we had a little bit of brief one from Mr. Hastings talking about his AP economics classes. And Mr. Hastings, you want to go?
Yeah. So hi. It's an advanced economics class. We've been working a lot with learning the difficult concepts of the economic models that are needed to pass the exam or do well in the exam. Students that get a 3 out of 5 or better in most of the California public colleges can either waive out of a social science requirement in college, or in some cases they can actually get college credit. Depends on the school. So the students are encouraged to check and see which schools they're applying to and what the scores they need are. Our exams are May 5th and May 6th. They're taken on site. They will be, I believe they're afternoon tests, but they're actually a shorter, if you've had a student take an AP test before, they're shorter. They're not a full session because these are actually 2 semester courses in exams. And if they get a good score on one of them, it actually most colleges will accept it as if they got a good score on both of them. So it's kind of a really good opportunity. We'll be spending the rest of the month of April doing the regular AP economic stuff, the macroeconomics, trade, and that type of stuff with currency. And then the end of April, we'll be doing review. So if there's questions about grades or there's questions about, it's pretty much questions about grades, I imagine, you can email me, you can reach out to the school, leave a message, I'll call you right back, or I will respond via email whenever you need. So that's pretty much it.
All right, thank you very much. We have a number of AP programs, and we're going to send out more information with those programs as well when we send out the video. Next up, we have jazz dance and dance production. Ms. Takiba, if you're here and you want to speak on this.
Yes, hi. I'm Vicki Takiba, Jazz Dance 1 and 2 dance production teacher here at Richmond High. Just listed some of the things that we do on a regular basis, the skill and health-related elements of fitness that the study of dance uses to improve agility, coordination, rhythm, balance, alignment, flexibility, strength, and we use many dance techniques and movement combinations. Dance also emphasizes creative expression and cultural and historical awareness. Our upcoming performances on April 19th, African American Showcase at 7 p.m. in the theater, and Multicultural Night on May 12th at 7 p.m. in the theater. And I'll pass it on to the rest of the PE department.
Hey everyone. So my name is Coach Jamon. I am the physical education department lead. I coach basketball here, tennis. I'm also the athletic director. My colleagues, we have Coach Fisher. He coaches football at school as well as teaching PE, and we have Coach Gutierrez, who also helps out with basketball. Okay. Next slide, if you can, Mr. Hilliard. So basically, just to give you an idea of what we're working on currently in PE, we're basically doing the physical fitness test currently, which basically works on the 6 components of fitness, which are listed here: aerobic capacity, abdominal strength and endurance, upper body strength and endurance, body composition, trunk extensor strength and flexibility, and flexibility. And so we're doing a variety of tests. Typically, we only record the scores for 9th graders and report those. But this year we've decided, just for our curriculum, to do both 9th and 10th graders, those are the majority of the students that we work with. Just because last year we weren't in person, and we're trying to get the 10th graders that did not have the opportunity to do the physical fitness test last year, get them to do it this year. So we've been working on pretty much the pacer so far. The pacer, we did some of the flexibility tests, such as the shoulder stretch and the tempo. Next week, we'll be kind of going into the push-up, curl-up, and mile run. And so that's pretty much what we've been working on in PE, and I'll hand it back off to Mr. Hilliard.
All right, great. Thank you so much. We have the Richmond High Spanish department. If you want to go on through, or Mr. Gonzalez, if you want to start off.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Alejandro González, soy el maestro de Español 1 y Español 3. Soy uno de los maestros aquí in the Spanish department. I'm also one of the teachers that I'm actually the department lead and the department chair. Can we go to the next slide, please? And so I also wanted to, and then again, welcome again. Can we go to the next slide? I'm sorry. So a lot of us, so here's our 3 teachers that we have. We have Ms. Sanchez Paz and Mr. Beñat Lazarte Acarregui. We actually all teach various forms of different Spanish. So we teach Spanish. I teach Spanish 1 and Spanish 3. Ms. Sanchez teaches Spanish 2, and Mr. Beñat Lazarte teaches Spanish 3, Spanish 4, and AP. So he's been kind enough to take on that role as well. Each of us have different fields and different knowledge bases of our teachings. Also, we also offer different levels of our teaching as well, which is included with the different levels of teaching of Spanish. Can we go to the next slide, please? And so here's some of our expectations. We do expect that our teachers have, our students actually do our do nows. We expect them to do that in every instance. We respect one another, complete all the classwork and the homework that is given. Bring your books to class, check also your Google Classroom. We usually typically have everything on our Google Classroom. And these are our current expectations amongst all three of our teachers. Can we continue, please? And so again, I know that I offer tutoring, free tutoring by appointment only, but typically it's usually around on either a Monday or a Tuesday. If the students do need extra guidance, they can always come to my class. We can talk during lunch. I'm very open as to when my tutorial can be. I would invite either Mr. Beñat or Ms. Maribel to say when they have their tutoring.
Okay, so I have my tutorings by appointments too, and it's like whenever they can, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday.
And Ms. Sanchez?
So for my tutoring hours, they're usually after school. So if they have any questions, they are welcome to stop by after school, and they know that. And by appointment as well.
And then also we have one other teacher that I forgot to mention, which was Ms. Garrigues. She is actually the Spanish teacher up in the International Academy, and she can also offer when she actually has her tutorial as well. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Next slide. Go ahead. And so here's what some of our students have been doing in my class in Spanish 1. Están reconociendo frases simples, oraciones completas. We've been working on 3 different ser, estar, and tener. We've been also working on different levels of vocabulary. We've also been doing several projects, including one that they will be starting on Q4. They will be doing their Latin American country project, which will be their final for my class. They will be doing research in the library and then also present a Google Slides presentation at the end of it, as well as presenting and creating their own brochure and survival guide. So that's actually one of the major projects that I have in my class. They have already done a Latin American celebrity project as well. This final will also be in complete Spanish, so I'm working towards that. We are practicing our sentences. We are practicing different tools and verbs and much more vocabulary as well. Next slide, please. In Spanish 2, I believe Ms. Maribel, she also does conjugation in the pretérito, which is a past tense. She's been working on estar más, imperativos, posesivas, sustantivos, Spanish linguistics, also working directly with the students to learn accents as well. So this is when you usually start to learn about accents, very basic. And then also hablar, to hear and also go over questions as well. Next slide, please. And then also in Spanish 3, we also give more, even more enhanced vocabulary, tiempos verbales, like the presente, pasado, and futuro, the indicativo. We give modalidades, and we also do voz pasivas. We do reflexivas. We do imperfecto. We do more advanced, probably the most advanced grammar that you will have here at Richmond High. We also do diminutives, aumentivos, superlatives. We do ortografía. We do a lot of writing. We do a lot of reading. In this class as well, leading them up into Spanish 4 and AP, which they will be taking the AP test in May as well with Mr. Beñat, and he is definitely preparing them for it. Next slide, please. Okay. And also in Spanish, again in Spanish 4, they just do a lot of more reading, writing, and actually preparation for the exam. So can we go to the next slide one more time? And also they also do a little bit of poetry as well for AP Spanish. Next slide, please. And lastly, this is our email. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to email us. We are always able to email at any time. If you have any direct questions about your students' grades, they are more than welcome to come and get printouts from us. I myself do that for all my students to check in with them. I make it a priority right before the end of the quarter usually. I know the other teachers do as well, to check in with them on a regular basis. And you're also welcome to email us as well as parents if you guys are interested in knowing your students' grades or any questions about exams, anything like that. All right, so this will be our Spanish department here at Richmond High. Thank you very much, and I'll give it back off to Mr. Hilliard.
Hey, great job, guys. I really appreciate it. And of course, if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat and all that. So we're going to pass it off to our amazing and wonderful counselors and College and Career Center. Just let me know when you're ready for the next slide, and take it away, Miss Jan.
It's actually Miss Rios will be kicking us off.
Perfect.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I am one of the school counselors. I'm Miss Rios. I'm over the Law Academy. This school year, we have 6 school counselors. I'll introduce them in just a moment. Next slide. And for engineering, we have Mr. Gonzalez. For College and Career, we have Miss Jan. For myself, Law Academy. Next slide. For the Health Academy, we have Miss Calderon, and for Multimedia, we have Miss Franco Sanchez. For Internationals, we have Mr. Garcia Rodriguez. Next slide, please. This is our contact information. The best way to get a hold of us is usually by email, mainly because we can be in our offices or whatever else is happening throughout the school day. Last week we were presenting at the middle schools or doing choice sheet presentations, so we weren't in our offices. So just the best way to get a hold of us is our email. Please be sure to email us with any information. Next slide. Questions. And next. Oh, I guess I'll do this. So how do we support we support our students and families. So mainly what the counselors at our school will be doing or have been doing is academic planning, making sure the students have everything they need for graduation, class schedules, which is usually at the beginning of the school year, and graduation evaluation. So for example, we'll meet with our seniors in the beginning of the school year, college and career exploration. We do post-secondary planning, conflict mediation, social emotional check-ins, wellness center referrals, letters of recommendation when seniors are needing letters of recommendation for a scholarship or colleges, four-year colleges. And we assist with reclassification of English learning students. Next slide. All right, Ms. Damaris.
It's actually me. Hey, buenas tardes, families. So seniors who are in this meeting, this information is for you all. Make sure that you're checking your email on a regular basis, just to check for emails that come from us, your teachers, Google Advisory, to see any upcoming events and workshops. Sometime this month or next month, you'll be receiving a F notice. So if you have any Fs in your classes, you should be getting a letter. Seniors at the beginning of semester 2 should have at least 195 credits. Teachers, if you get an F, teachers have until May 31st to resign any F notices. If you end up failing a class that you need for June graduation, unfortunately, you will have to go to summer school and graduate until July. For those students that have taken classes at community college or outside of the district, and you haven't reported those to us, just make sure that you provide us with a copy of it. That way we can give you credit for those courses. And then a quick reminder about Edgenuity or credit recovery is that you must be on track to completing it. If you're having any issues, please email or contact Ms. Calderon. And keep in mind that the deadline for you all is May 23rd.
Hi everyone. So I'm going to be presenting the information for 9 to 11 graders. So we recently, the counseling team went ahead and presented in your students either social science or English class for next year, so they can go ahead and choose their courses for next year. So the deadline to turn in the choice sheet was the 14th of March. However, the link is still open. So if your student has not done their choice sheet, they can go ahead and still submit it as soon as possible. Also concurrent enrollment. So one of the things that students can do in high school is that they can go ahead and take a community college course. And they can get high school credit for it. So we will go ahead and be doing that. We're gonna have a workshop on April 18th, and then second part on April 25th. And it's not just only for Contra Costa College, which is our local community college. Students can also go ahead and take classes in Laney College. We have students that have done it in Berkeley City in the past. So they can go ahead and branch out to other community college campuses as well. If your student is planning on taking an AP class next year, there is an AP assignment that they do have to turn in. So we did provided the link to that assignment and the list of the AP classes when we went ahead and did the choice sheet presentations. Also, if your student needs to sign up for credit recovery, they can do that as well. And there'll be a slide right now on credit recovery options. And then same thing, checking students, having students remind them to check their emails and their Google Classroom advisory. So the college and career and the counseling team, we do have a Google Classroom for every class. So to just go ahead and check it constantly for updates on any of upcoming events or announcements that we have. And then for summer school, that is also still pending. Next slide. Ivana or Damari, if you think you're returning.
Hi, I'll do it. Hi, I'm Ms. Franco. So advanced placement courses, or otherwise known as AP courses, it's a college level class taught in high school. Students are expected to agree and sign the AP contract. For AP classes, a student is expected to spend about an average of 5 hours per AP class per week. They should know that an A or B grade is not guaranteed in the class, and they should select the AP class that they are interested in, not just because friends are joining that class. They are also expected to take the AP exam in May, and students cannot drop the class after the first week when school starts. So, but if they have any questions, they can come and talk to us, their counselors, during that first week of school. So who can take that class? Right now we have AP classes available for 11th and 12th grade students for next year. And then just keep a lookout again for the Google advisory board to see if there are any other AP classes that we are offering. And then we have the link on there that you can see to see which AP classes are available. Next slide.
Thank you. Yeah, so if your student did not pass the class, they can go ahead and do credit recovery, so they can go ahead and recover those credits. One of the most common ones is Ingenuity, which is an online credit recovery program. It's completely online. Students just go ahead, they watch tutorial videos, they do activities, quizzes, and then they do a unit test for every unit that they have to do. There is a form that students or parents can go ahead and fill out if they would like to do that. They can also reach out to their counselors. Most of the counselors have walk-ins during lunch and after school, so they can also go ahead and do that. The Ingenuity is for credit recovery board for credits, and students want to be A through G eligible. Summer school, this year's summer school will be in El Cerrito and in the ANSA High School. We do not know when the application is coming out yet, but as soon as we do, we will go ahead and let families know. Summer school is 5 weeks this summer. Another one is independent study. So this is when a student wants to make up credit, so they go ahead and they reach out to a teacher that teaches that particular subject that they want to earn credits in. If the teacher agrees, then they go ahead and do a contract. The teacher basically gives them independent work. Once the student completes it, the teacher goes ahead and lets the counselor know that the student has earned a grade. And then we go ahead and post that information on their transcript. And then concurrent enrollment, it was what I previously mentioned. Basically, students can earn credits by taking a college course at a community college. Usually, courses are 3 units, which equals to 10 credits. So in order for students to do that, they just have to they sign up, and then once they go ahead and pass the class, they just bring us a copy of their community college course that shows the grade and the units that they earn, and we go ahead and put that in their transcript. And as I mentioned, there will be a workshop on April 18th. And I'm going to pass it on to Ms. Jan for college and career information.
Good evening, everyone. So this is the summary slide we use all the time that shows all the services the College and Career excuse me, Center provides to our students. Basically, if a student knows what they want to do after high school or doesn't know what they want to do after high school, they should come to my office and we will help them get to where they want to go. Next slide, please. So in the College and Career Center, I oversee 6 programs, nonprofits that work in my office, and each student is allowed to be in one. And then we have a school-wide program called One Goal that recruits students in the 10th grade, and it's a 3-year program for 11th grade, 12th grade, and their first year after high school graduation. And if students want to join our program, or if you want to learn more information about the program, you can go to the interest form or scan the QR code. And I also put the link in the chat. But these are our 6 programs that are regularly work out of my center. Next slide, please. So it's a busy time of year for seniors. A big thing is those that applied to a 4-year university, they've gotten their admissions. Before they accept their admissions, they should make sure to review all of their financial aid award letters to make sure they can afford the school they think they want to go to. For those planning to go to community college, my office is hosting a community college week next week that has events every day to help them explore community college options. And for those who did not meet the March 2nd deadline to turn in their FAFSA or the California DREAM Act for their financial aid application, the state extended the deadline. So the new deadline is April 1st. Those that applied to 4-year universities, we're encouraging to turn in their acceptances because we have an annual celebration that will be in April. And for those students planning to go to CC, we have an event called Comet Day. It's a trip up to CC for the day, and we're taking signups for that. Those planning to go to a university, they have to decide and submit their statement of intent to register, also known as their SIR, on or by May 1st. That's a Sunday. And scholarship deadlines, please encourage your students to apply to scholarships. There's tons out there. There was a big one. The deadline was just last week, and I only got 3 applications for 2 scholarships. Next slide, please. These are some of our upcoming events. If you go to our Instagram or the students go to their advisory Google Classroom, I post all the events. To help the seniors who might not have done their financial aid yet, we're having a last chance cash out Wednesday to help them next Wednesday, the 30th after school, either virtually on Zoom or in the College and Career Center. And if you have questions about events, you can reach out to me. And next, and I believe there's one more slide. And next slide, please. And if you need to get in touch with the College and Career Center, you can follow us on our social media, either Instagram or Facebook. If the student doesn't know the advisory Google Classroom code for their graduation year, those are the codes, and you can email the College and Career Center as well. And that is all I have for tonight. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you for the College and Career Center and our wonderful counselors. Really appreciate it. At this time, we're almost right on schedule, which is great. So we're going to do Academy breakout rooms for now. So every Academy is going to have a breakout room that you can use, which I'm going to open right now. If you are not sure which breakout room your student is in, you can hold back here and we can help you find out which Academy your student is in. There should be a button that you can click where it'll show you where each of the different Academy rooms are located. We have Health Academy is going to be located in a separate one, a separate link. So if you look in the chat, you can find the Zoom link for Health Academy. So if your student has Miss Barragan or Miss Jawad or Miss Capone or Mr. Ponce or Mr. Gade and Mr. Amarant, you're going to head over to Health Academy using the link in the chat. I'm going to put it also, you can see it there. If you are in multimedia, internationals, engineering or EPA, or Law Academy, you're going to find your breakout room under the button for breakout. So go ahead and join. You can click to do that. If you need help with it, we will stay here in the main room to help you find your room. So feel free to move to those rooms now. For our translators that are here, we're going to ask that if each one of you can please join multimedia. We need one in EPA. We need one in Law Academy. And we'll need one in special ed. So, and then, yep, I can assign you. So if I have, I'll go ahead and assign you to a different room. So Victor, if you are looking for Miss Calderon, are you looking for Miss Calderon in room 360 or the math teacher, Miss Calderon? Math, okay. She's in internationals. Let me help you out. So you can click on internationals.
Which one's in the nationals?
I will send it to you. There you go. There you go.
Hey, Mr. Hillier, I'm ready for screen sharing.
Oh, there you are. Good. Okay. Sorry about that. Let me get you right here. All right. Done and done. You're good to go.
Hillier, which room am I supposed to join?
You are actually, since you are an elective and you already presented, you are done. So thank you very
Awesome.
much.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Are we done as well, Mr. Hillier?
Yes, you guys did an excellent job presenting. So thank you. And we got it on, we got to record it too. So that was great.
Okay, then we will take our leave. Bye.
Mr. Hillier,
Yeah,
can you assign the interpreters, please?
I've been assigning them. They don't seem to go. So,
Mr. Hillier, you can just tell us where to go. We can choose the link.
oh, perfect. So I believe that I have,
We have Patty, myself, and you have Magdalena. Oh, here you go.
there we go. So I assigned you, and then you said Patty is the other one.
Yes,
That's why my
Patty,
hand was up.
Okay.
Patty, Miss Ortega, Miss Brown, and Miss Resendiz.
Oh, perfect. Okay, I'm assigning you right now. If you hit accept, Mr. Descendez. I don't see Mr. Descendez in here. All right.
I think she already left to a breakout room.
Oh, good, good. Okay, well, hopefully
You
I put
still
them
have
all.
Miss Brown?
Oh, I assigned Miss Brown, so she's gone. I think that's everybody.
Miss Ortega?
Yeah.
Did you assign Miss Ortega?
Let
No,
me
we
see.
still have
Oh,
Miss Ortega in the room.
perfect. Okay, I just assigned her as well.
And Miss Magdalena is still in the room too.
I assigned her, so we're just waiting for her to click yes. And then Miss Leslie, I will put you into multimedia. There you go. So just click accept and you should be good. So Miss Resendez is in multimedia and we have Patty is in engineering. Internationals, we don't need anyone. Law Academy, we're waiting for Miss Brown if she can join. We have, where else? And then for special ed, we do have Spanish speakers in special ed. So and Miss Ortega's in there anyways. So Miss Brown, if you want to go to Law Academy, that would be great. I know Mr. De Leon's in there as well. All right. Thanks. And then
the rest of us, we can just leave, Mr. Hillier?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So no problem. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording.